Hello again, small model collectors. So this is a scale I don't really talk about too often. I used to have a whole bunch of like these 144 scale tanks, World Tank Museums, and they're quite nice. But anyways, I like VOTOMS, so this is kind of bringing me back into the scale here. So they had these two volumes, volume 1 we're talking about today, of these vehicles from the VOTOMS cartoon series. It's Takara. They make the 148 scale and larger scale Votom robots. But here we have, let's see, it looks like 9 different figure sets actually. There's the Votom's robots, and then they have a vehicle associated with them as well. It's all in Japanese though. Okay. And then the other ones. So it seems like they have two castings. It's just that they have different colorways for each of the castings. But it's good. They don't look very similar. You know, this one's like a sky blue and red. That one's a totally different color scheme. Yeah, so I can see people collecting all of them. Is there a date? I think these are pretty old. Takara Hobby, blah 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 blah. Strange. Yeah, toys. They don't date their stuff. So I don't know how old these are. Anyways, I got 4 of them today, so let's take a look at these guys here. They're opened, of course. They're blind boxes, so someone has to open them to figure out what's inside. Oh, a little piece of paper here. Okay. Still no date. Oh, cool. A little drawing of the vehicle that's in here. It's called an MAV-59-PP. Actually, I have no idea what that means. But if you can read Japanese, it says here 8.2 tons, 80 kilometers an hour, 50-liter tank maybe, 310-kilometer range, and 6-wheel drive. Alright, so that's nice. And then the robot that comes with this is the Red Shoulder Custom. That's what that chassis code is. And then it tells you the stats of the robot. And then I guess we're going to have to put the robot together, and there's some articulation maybe, possibly on that thing there. Oh, here we go, 2007. So that's when Volume 1 came out, 2007. And these must be the color choices maybe that come with it. Blue and, well, is that true? Well, I don't know. It's like white and gray. Yeah, it's not necessarily gray. Doesn't matter. Okay, let's take a look at this thing here. A different angle. Wow, this thing is small. Well, the vehicle's not so small, but it's got these little characters. Look at this. Hold on, I gotta get some tweezers actually. There's a reveal. Look at this. It's actually painted. This is awesome. I am too lazy to paint characters. I have a whole box of like 64 scale characters unpainted after 2 years. This thing actually has orange, brown skin, and blue, and a metallic for the gun. Very impressive. I mean, it's so small, it's crazy. It's awesome. It's awesome. Okay. So let's go into the vehicle first. It's just what I pulled out anyway. It's 6x6. I think that's hard plastic, or is it rubbery? No, you know, maybe this is PVC. It's really hard, dense PVC though. And so it's obviously painted pretty well. The tires are a darker gray than the rest of the body, but it looks like there's actually a gray wash here as well. You can see some lug nut details there. Yeah, naturally some sloppiness here because it's just trying to be weathered, but they did a pretty bad job there. But it's got tampo printing as well, so that's nice. It's not a decal, it's actually paint. There's some greebly effects here, and then you can see the drivetrain here, a little rubber not bushing, boot, you know, to protect the seals. Yeah, more black paint wash here. The doors on this side apparently. I'm assuming these might be doors as well. Going around to the back, we have some tail lights and 3 silver things here, and a rear facing turret and some window slots. This window here is actually passing air, I think. This is impressive. Look at this. So that's actually a hollow window they molded in this. That is pretty cool. You would never get that in a die cast. And then even some tiny little bolt details down here and some paint wash weathering. So up top here in this, I wonder if this comes out. No, it doesn't. It seems like a separate piece. Wait a second. I think I just lifted it. Yeah. I don't know why, but for some reason these things can tilt. I don't understand why. Maybe a robot can fit in here, but you can see there's a diamond kind of pattern or some sort of traction pattern in there. So, and then even a little hatch detail there. This is awesome. It's so detailed. And then the main part, we even gone into the turret. I wonder if this, yeah, it was stuck with a little paint, but it can move. Just don't twist it by the gun barrels. And then do these move up and down? Yep, look at that. Moves up and down. The ball moves left and right. Very, very cool. Yeah, nice. Alright. A little character here. Let's just plop him in there. Look at that. I'm going to have to get all these at some point in time. Okay, so a pretty idiot-proof way of packaging it to figure out how you should put this little guy together. Look how small these bits are. It's crazy. Okay, now that they're all splayed out, I'll probably mess this up, but look at this torso. So you got this little minigun here being fed by the backpack, and then there's a peg for the rocket launcher, and there's 2 missiles here on the torso here, and this is the front here. So where's the head? So the head, yeah, it's got the 3 optics painted in 2 different colors, maybe 3 colors, and then the visor is a separate paint app than the green helmet. So that is crazy impressive. This thing is so small. And being on a round peg, so you can actually articulate the head, right? Move it left and right. Very, very cool. Alright, so now what is this? This is the skirt. Oh, this is the torso piece. So this torso piece is going to have to go up through the skirt. Wow. It's interesting that I guess they had to mold it this way. Oh, but you know, I think I have to put the legs on first. Yeah, because the skirt is going to trap those legs. Yeah, there we go. So very cool. Look at this. I mean, the legs have the 2 different colors going on, and then there's a black paint wash bringing out all the vent details and panel lines. They even mimic the little hose in the kneecap here, so that's pretty impressive. The little spike things here on the side, and then the little armor plates in the back of the knees and the back of the feet as well. So I'm quite amazed. A little ammo packs here on the side, armor plates. Alright, so yeah, naturally you can articulate this. You can get a little bit of leg movement as well, so very neat. Okay, red shoulder custom. We got to get this red shoulder in there. So this one, it goes on, I believe, this side of the figure. So just the articulation of the shoulder there, of course. It's got a little, like, I don't know, some sort of weapon on the mounted on the forearm. And then this side here, we have this arm popping in. And then this gun, the rifle, has a hand already attached, and look at the colors. I mean, the green hand, the green ammo, and then the gun is blue and gray. Amazing. I'm sorry, this is really amazing how small this thing is. Boy, we're talking about fidgety. I was complaining about the 1/48 scales being fidgety, but this thing is... I'm not sure why they chose to mold both arms like in a really tight position. Like, oh, they're trying to grab the rifle. I see. So, yeah, that's the intention there. It's actually grabbing the grip of the rifle. That is really cool. Alright, the last bit is this rocket launcher, and so naturally it's going to articulate. We've got 9 rockets red in the front, and then the exhaust are just plain. And that's just going to go on the backpack here. Maybe I should put that on before the arm. The peg seems a little... maybe the vinyl will stretch. Take your time. Here we go. Crazy. Hold on, I gotta get a ruler. This thing is I suppose if the rocket thing was down, it'd only be 3 centimeters tall, or like a little bit over an inch tall. That is just crazy how much detail there is in this thing. This could be the most detailed like figurine I have. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I know like Dungeons and Dragons stuff, those metal figures and stuff are tabletop wargaming. They have more details or on par with this. But you have to paint those things yourself. And as I mentioned, I don't like painting stuff. The rocket thing did fall off. So let me take this arm off. Oh boy, I feel really bad for the people that actually had to make this thing and do all these paint dabs. Some poor kids in China, I assume. Well, the rocket thing doesn't really want to go on that peg so much. I want to glue that in place if you buy this thing. And then I think it might be wiser if I add the hand to this thing before I put it in. Alright, well, that's that one. But is it going to balance? I have to glue this, well, it's because I moved his leg. Hold on here. Yeah, so, there you go. Wow, that's nuts. Okay. This thing says number 4, so number 4 is a fly, AT fly I think it's called, and it drop ships these robots into battle. So I have a separate piece of paper. Okay, so this thing has a diving beetle and AT fly. Alright, it's got maybe some armaments, maybe some rocket pods or something, and then yeah, the diving beetle has many arms and all that stuff. Okay, very neat. 7.5 meters. Well, let's see if it focuses. Those are the specs of an AT fly, and these are the specs of a diving beetle. And then 2 colorways. Okay, looking forward to this as well. Let's see. Oh, it's actually gonna have to require some snippers. Let's get this guy back here. Nice, that comes as a stand. So, stand seems pretty straightforward. You have a index. I don't see an index on this side. That's interesting. I assume it's going to go like that. Follow the curvature there. Oh wow, look at this. This is a pre-painted pilot. And it's like yellow and brown and skin tone. So that's crazy. So looking at the AT fly now, we definitely have a nice little camo paint scheme going on with gray and green, and a little bit of weathering going on up there. The jet thruster is metallic. The cockpit is this blue, and you got the flight stick there. You got the sort of really delicate landing gear here, like helicopter skids. Some sort of vent here, like a VTOL thing. Some machine guns or cannons. The optic sensors, like on an Apache helicopter. Some vents going into that engine area, and then these are what's mount the robot, I think. And then they got the color on all the surfaces, top, bottom, side. Some engines maybe here, and then yeah, that exhaust or engine there, and then also something here that's brown in there. So and then this thing does rotate, so you can rotate the props. Oh, nice little texture here for the engine there as well. Okay, well, let's get that little pilot in here. Yep, sits fine. And then there's a canopy. It's clear with some white paint on it. And that just slots in there. I guess you can pose it open. Yeah, the friction will hold it open. Or gotta get that peg in there. Alright, look at that. Well, no. I'm afraid of breaking these landing gear. Yeah, I don't know if this is PVC. It feels a little brittle to me. Well, I gotta say, this doesn't want to really go down. I think if you want to mount this thing closed, you might have to take off that tab. I think it's actually, this extra flash maybe on this thing? Yeah, anyways, maybe I'll just pose it like in a jar position. Yeah, that's as good as I can get the canopy right now. Alright, so now we have the props, and then it's just all painted black. Looks good enough. So you gotta align these 3 holes into that thing. And that was actually pretty easy to do. Wow, this thing spins really well. I mean, I think you should glue the prop in place. As you saw, it just fell off really easily. But once you do, that thing spins. That's really impressive. Alright, well, let's just put that down for now. So the diving beetle, I don't know if they're, oh, these must be alternate arms or something. Let's see if we can put it together without this stuff. I'm just curious what that little disc is for, too. Alright, the legs. Yeah, we got the little wheel here on the side. Some sort of arm mechanism. I think this wearing like some skate shoes or something underneath the normal feet. And where's the torso? I gotta put these things on first. Okay. And then we got this thing. Try to get through that hole. Here we go. I'm not sure if I'm putting this on the right way. I think I am. Yeah, I think that's the way it's supposed to go. Okay, so now where's the torso? Very cool. Look at this tiny head kind of like optic thing. It's got green, red, and I think more green. So that's got to go. You can actually rotate that and pose it in the head there. If I can get it in there. Yep, there we go. Let's twist the red more towards the top. No, maybe not. I'll have to twist it later. Very neat. And then, yeah, this thing does have the arm here. But no, oh, and the hand and the gun are already one piece. It's like blue, aqua color, and black gun. And it's got a foregrip as well, which I'm assuming maybe the other arm is meant to hold. Let's see. Get that thing in there. There we go. Yeah, I think it's supposed to actually hold the other part of the gun. Yeah, let me get that thing on top. So yeah, look at that. That is really cool. And it stands. So now, I might not even bother putting these on because they're not as action oriented. But you have this arm here. It's just a closed fist. Sorry, focus. Come on. I don't think mobile phones were meant to do YouTube videos. Oh, I see, but it has the hooks on it. Oh, so these are for being drop shipped in place. And it still has a separate gun to go in there. Or you could just have the hooks on the vehicle itself. I think we have to see it on the actual flight vehicle though. So hold on. I gotta get some clippers out. We definitely need to have the ones with the hooks. And I guess we need the gun to go into that arm as well. Or I guess you could still use that other weapon and pop it in that arm, but it's just more work. This white thing, though, I still don't know what this would be for. It has like a star pattern on the back. I don't want to lose it, so I'm going to leave it there until I figure out what it's for. Yeah, I don't see anywhere for that thing to go. Anyways, I gotta pop these arms off now. Then we have this, the fist goes on this side of the body. This one goes on this side. Try to get these black pins in the same orientation. And where's the gun now? Okay. So we should be able to pop these things up into the vehicle. I'm actually thinking it might be smarter to put the arms into the vehicle first, because you got to twist them in. So let me try this. Actually, I don't want to break this prop thing. So actually, some tweezers will definitely help push this thing home. Okay. Yeah, this one doesn't really want to go in, so tweezers. Still. Let me get better tweezers. These have a little bit of grip on them. These are nice tweezers. They have a lock as well. AliExpress. I buy almost everything off that place. Yeah, this pin is really tight. Alright, so now, once those guys are in place, I think it's easier to just pop the torso into this now. Look at that. So, oh, this thing actually goes into the back of the engine. And then, we're going to put the prop back on. Get a different angle here. Actually, let me close this out. Look at that. That thing's awesome. I mean, it's drop shipping a walking tank into battle. Yeah, so the only gripe I have against this one is maybe the canopy, you know, the design of it, how it doesn't want to really close. So I think you can close it, you just gotta snip off that rear tab or file it down, because I think it's literally butting up against the underside of the camouflage body. But yeah, you got the cockpit with the pilot in there. This is so cool. Alright, anyways, we'll just move on. I still don't know if anyone knows what this thing is for. I almost think it might be a cover for that rear engine. Like maybe it pops in right there for if it's like in a storage mode, like at a base or something, and it's on long-term storage. Anyways, all right, very cool. Let that one sit there. What is next? I've got a collection of tools here now. All right, number 6 it says here, so it should be this green Valorant, I don't know what this vehicle is, but the piece of paper will tell us. This is called the Fatty. It's the robot, an AT carry. Okay. Very neat. So the specs of an AT carry, well, that's odd. That's all written in Japanese when the other ones had just numbers. Or I guess they just don't know. They don't know any specs. But they do know the specs of the fatty robot there. Okay. And the colorways. Even though these are from 2007, this thing is still pretty good, this packaging. Whatever plastic they use. Wow, this is a big vehicle. So there's a pilot again, cockpit, and the stand. Very nice. So the stand, I don't know what that's for, but this thing looks the same as the other stand. Oh, I see what's going on. You have to actually put this on here, and then I think it pegs into the engines. Yeah, it does. That's what that thing's for. But let's look at this vehicle first. So, cockpit is gray, and where's the little pilot? The feet, the legs actually straddle the seat. It's got a really funky, like, helmet mask kind of thing going on. Almost doesn't even look human. But it's got, like, yellow eyes and stuff. And then where's the cockpit? The cockpit has, you know, the same color on it as the rest of the body. So, yeah, that one closes nice and tight. I suppose if you wanted to, which is friction, yep, you could have it open. I'd be afraid of breaking that off, though, so I'm going to leave it down. Very nice, much better cockpit fit. Very clear plastic as well. Okay, giant engines here in the front, obviously. These intakes, and it's like a metallic brownish color or something, gunmetal brown. And then we have these like vertical thrusters here with that same metallic, some intakes, venting, more intakes. We got some funky like 57 alien font there. Thruster details on the bottom. It's all metallic. This must be for the robot to sit in. And then panel gaps, panel lines, greebly details. Yeah, even the engines are a little recessed. Maybe if you had some orange or red in there, it would look really cool. And then it's got some vertical wings, which have a little green, darker green on the top. I don't know if there's an orientation to these. Let's see. Maybe there is. No, the peg. Yeah, I think they're supposed to splay outwards like this. Yeah, there's actually a 57 on the outside surface. So that's how you know. The inside surface doesn't have a number printed on. Okay, so those actually recess into those grooves pretty well. Very neat. And then you got some yellow intakes up there. That's really relatively thin antenna. I gotta say, I don't know. This doesn't look like any vehicle that actually flies by mankind. The closest thing would be the Harrier jump jet, but in that and maybe a mix of the VTOL, not the VTOL, the Osprey, the propeller thing. Anyway, so that's really neat. For now, let's just put it on the stand. So you got this, and so you can rotate this, so you can get some dynamic posing. For now, we'll just leave it back here. That's definitely big. All right, so the Space Fatty torso. We got the thruster pack in the back. Good details there. It's got a black wash to help bring out those details. It's got red printing on it. Here's the, I think this is the head. Being on a round peg, you can move the head around. And then the torso, where are you again? So there's some sort of index there. But I've got to get the legs on first. I think the red is supposed to be on the front. I could be wrong, but we'll find out. And the torso piece, yeah. There's a little notch for that bottom piece to come out. It's kind of hard to get this peg through this hole, though. Alright. Goes up into there. And then we got this arm here with like a fist on it. And this arm here goes on this side and has a shield on it. And then the weapon again has the hand already molded on. You want the stock on the outside? No, I guess the stock is supposed to be on the inside, just the way they molded it. So there we go. That's what the Space Fatty looks like. Pretty good. It's really impressive, the amount of detail you can get. should be able to stand. Now the question is how does it get up, stay up in here? I see there's actually 2 hooks there, but what do they hook onto? And the torso fell off again. I see. I referred back to the instructions. This thing actually comes down. Look at this. So that's how you carry the robot. So I guess it just grabs onto his torso or something there. Yeah, there you go. So, well, I guess you can, if you move the legs up, it looks kind of weird. But yeah, you can do it that way. I guess for aerodynamic reasons, that's how it would want to fly. And then right before it actually drops the robot off, it would, you know, do that. So these are awesome. I can't get over how cool these things are. Very nice. Alright. One more to go. It says a number 8 on this. So we have a tank, it looks like, and a bloodsucker robot. Seems like I'm missing this transporter, so I'll have to get one of those one day. Piece of paper wise, we have like a wintry one and a jungle kind of one. A couple characters there. Oh yeah, there we go. So this is called a bloodsucker, that's the robot, and an asteroid is the tank. Some callouts, and then a 105mm gun, and I don't know what the rest would be. 2 cannons maybe? I don't know. And then the specs of a bloodsucker are there. So the turret can turn and go up and down as well. And then the bloodsucker we got put together. Alright, yep, the turrets definitely go up and down very easily. And then the, yep, rotates. So I think on this molding thing, it's supposed to actually peg in there. These are the optics for that guy. So let me just carefully snip these out. We're getting it. Oh, that makes life easier. So just like a scope dog, it has optics, 3 optics that can rotate around. It doesn't want to go in very far though. I think I'm going to have to trim this down. Or maybe you take a small drill bit and you can drill it deeper, but yeah, I'm afraid if I don't have enough of a peg, it might fall out one day and I'll lose it. Alright, well, for the video, I guess this is good enough. I'm going to put the big green optic on the bottom. So that's nice. Got some, like, I don't know, round thrusters on the back of the cannons. Again, some nice yellow Tampa printing there. A hatch, a wattle wash to bring out some of the details. We got some engine venting there. Even like headlights painted silver and some orange turn signals next to it. Hold on here. So now we got some orange running lights, ammo cans maybe, some nice panel details, some venting, more I don't know, toe hooks maybe. And then we got some treads, tank treads painted brown, and then the wheels are just the way they are. These are actually loose, not sure why. This one's not though, maybe there's not enough glue on this side. But anyways, this is a funky looking tank. Looks like an anti-aircraft tank actually. Unfortunately, it looks like this turret is a little bit off, but I think it's rigid plastic, so I don't want to mess with it. Alright, so what's nice is it comes with a little orange character again. This one has a, I don't know, maybe that's a rifle or some sort of sawed-off shotgun. And then the bloodsucker. Let's try to make sense of this. Again, the torso. What side is the front? I think it's this side. This is not the torso, it's the hip, isn't it? And then the bottom skirt. It's got this R logo on it. It looks pretty neat. For some reason I have a hard time getting... Maybe it'd be easier if I just peg this through this first before I add the legs. I don't know. Okay. So it looks like this arm is meant to hold the weapon as well. You have this red shoulder on this side of the robot. And then the weapon again has the hand attached to it. Yeah, so it's... And then the head. Alright, look at the details on this little guy here. We got the spiked here, 3 spikes here on the feet. The roller wheels here, they're also painted this sky blue. Same with the joints. But mostly it's like a dark gray, I would say. Tampo's awesome. The optics here have a little bit of green and red next to them. There's a little red there. We got the smoke launchers here. It's just, yeah, amazing, the details on this. So that goes here. Let me get a spin coaster out. Okay, so let's pull out a few other 144 stuff. I don't have too much, but F-Toys is a company, and they made a whole bunch of Star Wars related vehicles. So this is Jabba's Slave 1, and that's the same scale as these guys here. This is like some sort of hover vehicle, and it's 144 high-grade Bandai Gundam stuff. So this is from the Gundam universe. So this is a model kit I had to build, and you know, weather and stuff like that. I think I even added decals. So it's actually kind of similar, you know, it fits into the same universe. A little more realistic. This is one of those World Tank Museum tanks, 144 scale. This is a Tiger 1. And this one in particular was driven by Michael Whitman, who was the greatest tank commander ever. He had over 100 tank kills. Okay. A more modern German tank would be this Leopard. I think it's called a Leopard 2. And again, it's a World Tank Museum, I believe. Okay, so car-wise, 150 scale. This is a Herpa. It's listed as 1/200 scale, but it's not. It's actually 150, I think. This is a smart car, obviously. It's got pretty decent details for something that small. Here's a Toyota Hiace van. This is made by a company called Kato, or Kato. And then this is a Shell truck. Tomitech makes these. This is 1/150 scale. Running out of room to put these things on. And here's I think another F-Toys. What's this? Nope, it's my bad. This is Tomitech also. It's just a classic fire truck. But you'll see it actually has a working ladder, which is pretty impressive. Alright. So the most detailed models are generally made out of plastic. You cannot get this kind of detail out of die-cast. I don't understand why die-cast car collectors want their models to be die-cast. It means they're going to be lower quality. I suppose if you're going to strip the paint off and repaint them, that would be the only logical reason. That's why the nicest 1/64 scale cars are made of resin, because you can get tighter details. So these are all toys. I mean, these are pretty inexpensive toys, and yet their details blow away most die casts. So it's quite nice. So I'm all about plastic things. I mean, look at these details. They're just so tight. Okay. Let's get a more low view so you can see the robots hanging off these things. Well, I gotta say, these little Micro World 1/44 scale VOTOMS are just fantastic. I mean, if you're only after the robots, even the robots are fantastic, and yet they're so small. It's like a 1-inch robot, and it's got so many different colors on it. It's just amazing. But I really like these vehicles as well because they're such funky designs. Look at this thing, and they're so well executed. I mean, these vehicles we're seeing here are more detailed than in the actual cartoon of VOTOMS. So it's pretty nice. So I will definitely eventually get one of each of these castings from these 2 volumes. It's just that they don't come up too often. But when they do, if they come up for a good price, you know, I'll get them. So hopefully you'll see a video sooner than later. Thanks for watching today. See you around.